Good morning, students. Today we will discuss our main topic of the chapter, why democracy. So we have discussed till here what is democracy. Now, means you know that what is democracy, the definition we had discussed. Now another question comes, why democracy? So means the reason behind we will discuss. So in the what democracy means, we had discussed all the features were given in the chapter. The four features we have discussed there, simultaneously the summary of the definition. Now come to the next point, why democracy? So we remember the argument of Madam Lindo class. Now it is continue. So an argument broke out in Madam Lindo class, and she had finished teaching the previous section on what is democracy and asked students if they thought democracy was the best form of government. Everyone had something to say. Means she was teaching there and she had given different ideas about. She explained the democracy. Now the question was ended up with that statement, it is the best form of democracy. So when teacher has finished with that, it is the best form of government, like means question should be finished up till here, means there is no scope of asking question. But no, it has not happened. Debating merits of democracy means another the discussion continue. One of the students, Yolanda, she says we live in a democratic country, and we read in the last chapter that all over the world people would want democracy. Countries that were not democratic earlier are becoming democratic now. Means, in simple words, if I say that in today's time, in 21st century, more and more country coming under the umbrella of democracy. All great people have said nice things about democracy. Isn't it obvious that democracy is best? Do we need to this debate? As I told you, when best form of government is called democracy, so means question finished from here only. Now another character, Tankini, she said, but Lindo ma'am had said we should not accept something just because that is famous. Very much absolutely good and right statement. Ki if anything is good and famous, we should not that we should have it, we should purchase it, we should get it just because everyone else accept it. Isn't it possible that everyone is following the wrong path? Means it could be happen that the people which are they following, it is not a good path, it can be a wrong path. Another character, Jenny, yes, it is actually wrong path. Means people are free to talk in the class, they are saying yes, it is actually wrong path. What has democracy brought to our country? Means what was that by which we have chosen this form of government? More than half of the century of democracy, there is so much poverty in the country. Janie has his or her, whatever the maybe the character, own perception, and she is saying about when we are having this form of government, democracy we have. So why we have poverty till the time today? Means more than 50 years have been passed. Now Rebank says about something, but what has democracy got to do with it? Do we have poverty because we are democratic, or do we have poverty despite being democracy? Again, it is a good argument, but what has democracy got with it? Means if we got democracy, the poverty is not a blessing of it. Means do we have poverty? So because we have democratic, he is saying that they are not of you can say each other preferences. Do we have poverty despite of being poverty? Means he is saying that if we have poverty, then we have democracy. So means his statement absolutely correct that because of democracy we have poverty, or is it not that poverty we have, that's why we have democracy in our country? So Jenny, whatever, How does it make differences? The point is that this can't be the best form of government. Democracy is all about chaos, instability, corruption, and hypocrisy. Means she said about what is democracy? It is the name of chaos. Chaos, you understand? Chaotic environment when peace is not there. Instability, nothing is stable in the country. Corruption, you understand? Then hypocrisy means people say something, they do something. So she took out the four characteristics by this, that, and politicians fight among themselves. You have seen many times in the parliament, they fought and they fight each other. And who cares for the country? Means generally the politician, they have their own preference, own part. They don't think about the country. So this was the part of Jenny. Now Poimon says about that, what should be we have instead? Okay, he is saying that if we don't have democracy, what should we have instead of it? Go back to the British rule. Means she is hyper now. He is saying that if we don't have democracy, the means we should have a British rule. Means another one kind of government is there. So invite some kings to rule over the country. He is saying this means if you are not happy in that government, that is democracy, so we should call someone else to rule over us. Now Rose, I don't know, I think what this country needs to be a strong leader. Now she has another idea. She is supposed to think about we should have a strong leader, someone who does not have bother about the election and parliament. Means she says that election and parliament should not be there. There should be such a strong personality, strong leader who should have all the powers. Means take the decision with his own. He should be able to do whether he is needed the country interest and alone can remove the corruption and poverty of this country. Remember, Rose's statement, if you see that, she is expecting a beautiful idea about that a person should be there who can take his own decision and you can say remove the corruption, bring the country on the path of development. A good idea she is having, but what happens? Someone is shouted. There is some boy, some girl in the class who did not like this idea. He said, is this called dictatorship? Means, do you want that? There should be dictatorship. I think here everyone knows about dictatorship. Dictatorship is the form of government in which all the decisions taken by one person only, means with his own wish that can rule. He did not think about anything. So dictatorship can be good and bad. When you study Adolf Hitler or dictatorship, you will understand how it is good or bad. Another character, Hoy, what if that person starts using all these powers? She is or he is cutting the question of that one. Means dictatorship. Rose question is crossed, that he says that if you are saying about this means is that if person start using all the power, what will happen? Means he will be the dictator of the country and himself, his family, what it be the corruption himself. Means corrupt, if that person is corrupted himself, how he will bring the means goodness in the country. If the corruption will come, the all problem will come. Rose, I am speaking only the honest, sincere and strong. She is saying, I'm not talking about dictatorship. I am telling about that the person who will rule over the country, that should be honest one, sincere one. Sincere one means who will do his work sincerely, strong leader, can take the country in the zenith of its development. Hoy. But that is not fair. You are comparing a real democracy with real dictatorship. Understand these two beautiful words. Real dictatorship and ideal dictatorship, a real democracy and ideal dictatorship. We should compare an idea with an ideal. Compare an ideal with an ideal, real with real. Here we are trying to compare ideal with ideal, real with real. Go and check the record of dictatorship in real life. Means he is giving some reference that what is the result of dictatorship, like they are most corrupt. If you see any dictatorship of the world's country, you will find they are corrupted, they're the shellfish, they're the brutal means they never think about the any human as a human. Brutally they have ruled. So it is just that we don't get to know about this. And what is the worst, you can even get rid of them. Means literally what will happen, we want that they should go from the country, they should leave their rule. So she told all about this. Was the discussion in Madam Lindu class. Let's proceed to the another segment of the chapter after this video.